Hey, what's up, builders? It's your girl, Canton Blogger, and you are now listening to the LBF podcast. This is a different kind of creating space, and we have a returning favorite for you all. Eezy Olah, go ahead and say something for the builders.
Wow, yeah, wow. How y'all doing today?
If you all remember, he was here the first time talking about one of his last amazing projects, and we have him here again talking about his latest EP, Feelings. But we're also going to put a twist on it, and we're going to discuss feelings and how, from a male's perspective, how we deal with feelings when we're connecting in romantic connections. So, my first question I'm gonna ask you is to describe the EP. The for me, well, let me start off with that. When I first heard it, it's not a long listen, but it's so intentional, and I love it. It's a whole vibe, and it puts you in a specific kind of mindset when you listen to it. So I'll ask you like to describe what was your intention when you made this project.
My intentions was like very simple for like whoever the listener is to
Hmm.
feel something in the midst of those 5 songs.
Right.
It's not too many songs. Like for one of them songs to spark some type of feeling in you.
Oh,
Make
it
you feel
does
some type
that.
of way about any of those subjects or just the music of it. Just whatever was in there, something touched you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So how do you feel men process feelings? Since that is the title of your EP, I wanted to touch on, just explaining how we process and deal with our own emotions. But from your perspective, how do men generally do that?
Well, I yeah, reverb. It's a reverb on it, but anyway, I'm gonna go anyway. But I know it depends on the level of maturity and the level of like self awareness.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have some men who have a lot of feelings. You got some men who don't. But I think it's the awareness and the acceptance of whatever feelings you may be having
Right.
that's going to determine how you deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Because me early, especially as an early adult, you know what I'm saying, I was someone who suppressed their feelings because I didn't know what else to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, you know what I'm saying. I didn't have a manual or whatever.
Right.
I wasn't taught how to process some more. You know what I'm saying?
Express.
I was all, don't be a crybaby, don't have an attitude. you
That's
know?
it.
That's all I was told. So, but once I after having a few experiences and learning, curves and things of that nature, trials and tribulations, I began to notice I guess the importance of feelings and why we have them, why we shouldn't suppress them,
Right.
things of that nature.
So was it a specific moment where you felt like a freedom in your expression and you know, not felt that shame that we are told to feel whenever we do?
Honestly, me whenever I started record, like when I actually decided to be an artist, like don't get me wrong, I like playing music always felt good and making beats, took me to a whole nother world. When
Mhm.
I actually started writing songs and because whenever I decided to be an artist, I told myself that I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm not gonna be someone who just up here lying and just doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it sincerely. And
Mhm.
in the process of, writing sincerely, I started to notice that I was beginning to navigate and explore how I truly feel within myself.
Mhm.
And then I started to notice things, you know what I'm saying? Because expression tells all secrets.
It
That's why
does.
that's why we study nature and shit like that. Because nature don't do nothing but express itself, and you learn
Right.
so much from nature. But in the process of me, writing these songs, and I'm noticing that I'm starting to deeply understand, situations that I've been through or feelings that I've been just from writing about it, writing a song about it. That
Mhm.
was kind of the start of me that was the start of me understanding my feelings. And what I'm saying, it got me to the point to where I can make a project like feelings, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I love that because honestly, what's the purpose of creativity if not expression, right? And when you express yourself, And if you're trying to be honest, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be open. And in that is so much you uncover about yourself that you probably didn't realize you were still struggling with, or you didn't realize, what was a good thing about you. It's just like you're exploring yourself through that avenue. And when it comes to, getting comfortable in ourselves, I think having a craft and having an avenue or a passion, it does a wonderful job when you lean into it to help you get to that next level.
Yeah, I was in a conversation with my homie, and I was explaining to him how expression is the opposite of depression. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know about energy doesn't die,
Right.
be created or destroyed. It only exists and it moves. Or so if you steady, you know what I'm saying, you got all these emotions and these feelings just piling up in you, you never release them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't built but to hold but so much.
Honestly,
So
that
you
is true.
you be sitting around wondering what's wrong with you.
Mhm.
You got all these feelings and emotions just sitting, festering up in you, trying to get out. That's what it is. You got to let it all out. You steady trying to hide. You know what I mean?
But it's sometimes I'm laughing because so I do like angry poetry, but it's not angry, it's just like when I'm really having intense emotions,
You got to get it off your chest.
I'll write some of the best bars, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
that's
I had a moment the other day and I wrote and it was like a great poem I hadn't written in a while in that way. And after I finished, I was just like, well, dang, like I didn't realize I was still struggling with some of this, because you get wrapped up in life and you do what you have to do to move forward, but at the end of the day, like you said, you can only hold in so much, and at some point you need to express yourself and get that out. So that's definitely true. Like you speaking truth right now.
got to keep the river flowing. You can't block it up.
Mm-mm. So in your opinion, how do women express their feelings?
Um, in my opinion, uh, this is a
You trying to find the right word.
yeah, because like it's a very wrong way you can answer this, and it's a very right way. And so what I like to say that and honestly, this feelings ain't really a it's not really a male female thing.
Right.
It's really a masculine and feminine thing, and
Mhm.
we everybody contains both of those elements
Mhm.
within us. Those are just energies that those are generating energies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people who are more feminine, male or female, people who are more feminine, they they are most of the time they're not as mindful because they so caught up in emotions. You know what I'm saying? And the opposite end of that, right? People who are
Mhm.
more masculine, male and female, who are more masculine, they're they're mindful, but they're not. They lack empathy and compassion and things like that.
Right.
So these people are you know what I'm saying, the people who are more masculine, male and female, that are more masculine. A lot of times they come off as very
Cold.
cold.
Mhm.
They're perfectionists. You know what I'm saying? So they try to be so perfect that they're not present.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and people who are feminine, who are more feminine, male or female, who are more feminine. You see me keep clarifying.
You like, y'all ain't gonna burn me up on
Y'all
this.
not gonna, y'all ain't gonna get me. And individuals who are more feminine, they wanna get so close to the sun it burns them up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, you know, we gotta so what the real problem is that uh we are most of the times a lot of the problems that we caused are because we're not complete within ourselves,
Right.
not whole. It's a whole part of ourselves we've been ignoring and suppressing
Mhm.
and not working on, and we get in these situations and wonder why they don't work. It's because you're not operating to your full potential,
Right.
which which is being mindful and being compassionate.
And
You know,
fulfilled within yourself.
yeah, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And that's the problem when it comes to men dealing with feelings and women dealing with feelings.
That's a very politically correct answer to the question I did not ask.
You have to break it down. A lot of people don't get it though. You have to break it down for them.
No, but you pointed out a very important part. I say this all the time. I have to remind a lot of now I'm gonna make this specific because it is specific. I have to remind a lot of men that they are emotional because they're human and
Facts.
they miss that part. Um, you know, and I was having a conversation earlier. We were talking about how sometimes people think that logic prevails emotion. I'm like, no, that's just it's kind of like a good representation of that masculine, that feminine, right? So logic doesn't make you better. It doesn't mean that you're better at something. It just means that you express differently, but you still have emotions just because you choose logic over
The real
emotion.
question is why are you trying so hard to be better than somebody?
Well, it was a conversation about dominance,
I know
so
facts. I'm just trying to take what you give me the peel
Mhm.
back the layers to see what the real issue
Oh
is.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
real issue is on both ends is ego.
Yes. Yes.
We we too busy trying to be right. You can't even, you know what I'm saying? You
Can't
can't
even
even
admit.
solve the problem because you're too busy trying to be right about it. You know what I'm saying?
I think on one of the previous episodes, I think I shared it today. Damsel and the Dominant. I said one of the things that happens a lot is, people will come into a situation from a position where they think they can teach you, and not in a position of trying to learn. And I think that's how you really get to a true connection with someone is when you're coming in and you're trying to learn them and you're trying to learn from them. But if you're, letting that ego and that pride get in your way and you're thinking that you're only in a position to teach, you're already starting off wrong.
You lost
You're
already.
already lost because you're already looking at them as beneath you.
Yeah, you'll never know it all.
Mm. Oh my God.
You'll
Listen, I know
never.
we going in a whole different
I don't
direction.
care. I don't care how many books you read, how
Oh God.
much meditation you do, how many degrees you got, how many jobs you'll never know everything.
The wisest thing you can realize is that you will never know everything, and you have
Facts.
to be okay with that. That you can get as
Facts.
much education, whether it's traditional or not, you can be as streetwise as you want to be, and you
You know,
still not gonna know everything.
exactly. You only built to specialize in the specific thing anyway. One specific thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what your individuality is for.
You don't think
For you to
like people can be a jack of all trades?
you can. You can.
I mean, you kind of are
Yeah, to a degree.
to an extent.
To a degree.
Okay.
But it's one thing I like actually specialize in. You know, that's just production. That's what I special. Everything else I do decently. You know what I'm saying? Or I do it good enough to impress people. But like
Gotcha.
the thing I like specialize is production, and I'm not even the best at that. I'm
Mhm.
nice with it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not even. You know what
You like, don't, hey, don't take that the wrong way.
I mean?
So, what prompted you to make a project like Feelings?
Well, whenever I first started releasing music on all digital platforms, the first project I released was Eezy Love, and that was an R&B project. And after that, I probably released about 3 or 4 rap projects. I was still like doing like R&B singles and things like that, but
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. But I kind of introduced myself to like I guess the audience that I have now. I introduced myself with R&B,
Right.
so um, it was time for R&B album. My mom was harassing me about an R&B album. I had some more people like, all right, easy. We done, you done did enough rapping. I want to hear some R&B. Where the R&B music at? So it was just time for it. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I had done been through a lot and grown through. Then grown. I'm more mature and more of aware of R&B type subjects and things of that nature.
Not subjects.
And
What are
but
R&B type subjects?
I was being funny. I was being funny.
No, no, I'm like, because I'm
um,
thinking now, I'm like, what are R&B type subjects? That's a category somewhere.
anything that deals with relationships, you know what I'm saying? A connection between, you know what I'm saying, between two people who, love each other or have a lust for one
Have
another or
relations.
yeah, relations, all those ships, any type of ship you sail to get across the
Well,
ocean.
this was a very shippy project. We're gonna get into that
Oh,
though.
yeah, very a ship and dock.
Oh man. So talking about ships, it does seem to be heavy on relationships and dating aspects. So that was your intention to highlight the dynamics that we have when we're dealing with each other in that way?
Yeah, I just wanted to take my experiences and and the lessons I learned from them and just expose them.
Okay.
You know,
So,
as an artist, you have to expose yourself. You know,
it's the scariest thing sometimes to do that though.
you have to be brave.
It have to be. It'll be
That's what honestly, that's what like all the poetry and the metaphors and all that. That's to help you kind of
get
ease
into
it
it.
out there. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. So one of the lines that you put in your song, Cycles, and it kind of mentioned how we keep running into choices that we've chosen before.
Hmm.
So why do you think we do that? Like sometimes we know somebody's not right for us. We know it's not gonna work out, but we just addicted to this person.
Um, well, me, I'm an individual who likes to hold himself accountable.
Mhm.
And I also I subscribe to I know some people call them universal laws or the universal or the hermetic principles but one of them is the law of correspondence,
Mhm.
which means I'm pretty sure you heard the phrase as above so below, as within so without.
Mhm.
So that basically means that and if you understand oneness too, the law of oneness as well, is that everything is a reflection of you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you run into in the outside world, 9, 10 times out of 10, that's going on the inside of you as well. And I actually seen it firsthand in my life. You know what I'm saying? As I walked through relationships, I noticed that every girl that I had like a deep attraction to, they was like they were like the same as me, but from a woman's perspective. You know what I'm saying? In
Right.
a woman form, like they was literally my mirror, and they would make uh they were always they was the only people who was able to bring if I had any type of negativity in me or any bad aspects or good aspects, they would surface whenever I would run into them.
Right.
And I started to notice that um talking to different women, I started seeing some of the same characteristics.
Mhm.
And like at first I was like, man, women crazy, women this, women that. And then after seeing
Enough.
diff- different women with the
Mhm.
same, I was like, all right, it can't be them.
I just went through that same
It
thing.
gotta it gotta be what is it about me
Mhm.
that I'm allowing or doing
Or attracting.
or attracting, or what is it that I'm seeking in a woman that's
Mhm.
causing me to run into these type of women?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is that? And that's really what that line is about. That realization of me being caught in a loop or a cycle or a pattern. You know
So
what I'm
your
saying?
pattern was like multiple people, not just one person. I love that. I love that metaphor.
Yeah.
Simply because I just kind of cracked the code on mine too. Like
Mhm.
like you said, you sit with yourself after you've had so many situations
Yeah,
or,
I'm very introspective. Yeah.
very, very much so me. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I can't keep holding somebody else accountable. I'm holding myself accountable too. So what is it? And not necessarily what's wrong, but what is it, like you said, that you're seeking in other people that's probably an unhealthy aspect about you that keeps you in these patterns where you keep dating the same person over and over.
Mhm.
Different people, but you're dating the same kind of person,
Exactly.
coming into the same kind of issues. And so having to be real about, the quote unquote what my type is
Mhm.
and understanding what that means and why that is my type from whatever issues I had
Mhm.
or unhealed parts that I need to fix is it's been something that is a journey, but I'm so like happy now that I'm aware because
Mhm.
you realize like how unaware you were when you were
Yeah.
dating. And you
Awareness is a blessing.
it really is. I don't get why people well, I do get why people run away from it. You know,
Fear.
it's a very uncomfortable, but it's a gift. It's such a gift because if you really want to be fulfilled and happy, you have to be aware.
Mhm.
But yeah. Okay. I didn't realize cycle had a little different meaning. I was thinking it was
Yeah, and like, and really that can kind of go for any type of, you know, bad habit you have, or any
Mhm.
type of, any type of situation that's reoccurring. You know what I'm saying? You can apply that same, it's very it's a very deep line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So what is it like for you when you realize you're catching feelings?
Um, it's a lot of mixed emotions because you got to understand. When you catching feelings, that it feels good. It's a good feel. It's uplifting. You know what I'm saying? Fear don't like for you to feel
I was
uplifted.
about to say I'd be scared.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get into that because you got to think, right? Um, Whenever you feeling good in the moment, you know what attacks you? The future and the past attacks you. This is how the future attacks you with expectations. You know what I'm saying? Expectations have you like, we got to be this way, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, da 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 da
Right.
da da. Instead of taking the time in the present moment,
And enjoying the
just,
moment.
yeah, enjoying it and just seeing what this person is about.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to create expectations. If you look like, you take time to see what the hell you got in front of you, you know exactly what to expect. If you just, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, you that's some
if
truth right there,
if you
cause
if you be present, they're gonna
yeah,
show you whatever it is, whether it's a situation or a person, gonna show you exactly where it's going.
cause a lot of times we'll get past a relationship or something and be like, "Oh, the red flags were there." But you weren't
Mm-hmm.
present, like, you
Because
weren't
you was
paying
too busy.
attention.
You was
Mhm.
too busy
Planning the
dealing with
wedding.
expectations.
You was planning
And
the wedding
then,
already.
right, the past. Guess what attacks you from the past?
Oh, your scars and
Trauma.
everything else. Mhm.
Trauma. Oh damn, this happened when I did it. When I felt this way last time, I felt this way. This happened last time. This. Oh damn, if what if this be like that? You know what I'm saying? When our actuality, the past is long gone,
Mhm.
and the future ain't. That shit ain't that shit is all that shit is in your head. You know what I'm saying? All of it is in your head. You know what I mean? And you know, you just have to be present and enjoy the moment and see things for what it really is.
Right.
And but yeah, whenever you catch your feelings, it's all kind of emotions. It's all over the place. You're happy, scared. You know what I'm saying? You just you debating how vulnerable you're gonna allow yourself to be. You know what
Uh-huh.
I'm
I'd
saying?
be a hot ass mess. No, but
Yeah.
I'd be aware of it. Usually when I'm catching feelings and I realize like it's for me, that's a big thing because once I'm in it with somebody, it's for me it's real, you know?
Let's go.
Right. So when I'm catching feelings like, oh snap, what I got myself into, what's happening right now. So like you said, I get attacked from those expectations and then that trauma.
Uh-huh.
And then I have to decide whether or not I'm gonna let those things rule me. So having to make that
Uh-huh.
decision, like, okay, you are aware that sometimes you'll have control over how you feel in any one moment, but
Yeah.
you do have control over how you react to those things. And
Hmm.
so, choosing to move forward with the person and choosing to keep myself present and be attentive to the actuality of stuff so that
Yeah.
I'm not projecting my expectations on the situation. Because, like you said, that'll mess you up too. And then now you got another trauma that you're trying to heal from because you
Exactly.
expected too much from somebody who was never capable of giving you what you
Yeah.
wanted. So,
Yeah,
all
the
right.
trick to it is you just gotta be sincere. You know what I'm saying? Since like but like, of course, still have your boundaries. You know,
Yeah.
still have
Yeah.
your boundaries. Cause when you be sincere, if this person you're dealing with, if they a monster, your sincerity gonna make them show their teeth. You know what I'm saying?
Eventually.
When they show their teeth, that's what you have your boundaries there for. Like, oh no, I'm not with that.
Hmm.
Oh no, I can't do this, or I can't, you know.
See, I realized about myself that I'm really good with having boundaries when I'm single. When I get in a relationship, it usually falls apart. So that's something I'm working on to
Mhm.
get better at because, accountability and self awareness being what they are, making sure that those patterns, those cycles are
Yeah,
not continuing on in my future connections.
yeah, you got to love with your eyes open.
Listen,
We'll fall in love and just close our eyes like
this it be fumbling around.
you gotta love with your eyes open. You gotta still be looking. You know what I'm
It'd be hard though, cause you look,
Yeah.
you done planned out the future, so you think you know what you gonna expect. I mean, honestly, the more you learn about yourself, the easier it gets, and the more it makes sense when you have these kind of conversations.
Mhm.
But in the moment, you don't be thinking about all this.
Yeah.
You don't be thinking about. You don't do. Sometimes you don't do that introspection until after the trauma has already happened.
Mhm. But yeah, I think just to you just gotta always just be present as
Yeah.
possible, as possible, heart and mind there. You know, and it's a little more smooth sailing when you're going through that process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And making sure that who you and whoever you're dealing with are being transparent. You know what I'm saying?
It's another thing people struggle with.
Yeah.
Transparency, openness, because it's all
Yeah, I don't do that hiding shit. If you come over here trying to talk to me, we're not hiding.
we not like, and I see
Yeah,
it. Like I see when you're trying to hide.
yeah, we about to tell each other all our business if you come over here.
Now I don't want to know about all the exes and stuff. Like you keep all the information. We'll need to get that deep.
I might need to talk shit. I might need to vent to you. This this raggedy mother done did me.
Not raggedy.
and
Oh my god.
shout out to the exes. Y'all help me grow.
Honestly,
Y'all help me.
I
Y'all
used to
help
complain a lot, like, dang, I didn't help that ex grow. But if I hadn't had any of my experiences, I wouldn't have grown either.
me. Hmm.
It's just in a different way. So you have the song Love Limits, and it implies, attraction, situationship, setting boundaries with those we don't deem compatible.
Hmm.
Why do we go for people that we know aren't compatible for us?
Um, as humans, we deal with strong urges, very strong
Not the
primal
urge.
urges. We get hungry, you know.
Get thirsty.
You get hungry, you gotta eat. You get thirsty, you got to drink, you know. You have those primal urges that are just vicious.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside. But in this particular song, the woman that's, that this song was about was very promiscuous. And but I respected her because she was open about it.
Right.
This wasn't something she was hiding, you know what I'm saying?
Now, were you being very promiscuous at the time?
As well. Yes, ma'am. Like
Okay.
we had to understand
All right.
But the problem came was when she wanted me to stop and walk the straight and narrow,
Was
but
she gonna do it?
she wasn't gonna do that. Yeah. And I was like,
That don't
nah,
work that way.
this ain't that type of party. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a lollipop. I am not a sucker. You're not about to play with me like this.
She said she needs you to keep it home and
Yeah,
on
like
standby.
yeah, like nah, this ain't what this is. And that's kind of what that song was about, what inspired that song.
So, because in the intro is a piece of you talking, and you're talking
Uh,
about the woman being particularly manipulative.
yeah,
So that playing into the message too in the song?
yeah, definitely. What I noticed, like especially like as I matured and I overcame, like I found I don't know how I did it, but somehow I overcame my lust. Like I stopped chasing pussy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in the midst of so what happened when I stopped chasing, you know, the woman's portal to this world, um, I started and I went into situations wanting to actually know a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want your body. I want to know who I want you. So
Right.
I need to know who you are. And what I noticed was that a lot of women was hiding their bullshit behind a man's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And me not being thirsty for sex exposed that. You know what I'm
I get
saying?
what you're saying. Okay.
So so you know what I'm saying? I can tell when a woman was trying to hide from me because she'll be so anxious just to give me the box.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And most of the time she was giving me that in the attempts of that she could control me
Or
and get whatever
distraction.
and get whatever she wanted out of me. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, the women who were like that, they had some type of some things personally that they was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And they're not at fault for that because I believe a lot of them was unaware of it. Some of them was, and some of them wasn't. But
Have you ever had a conversation with any of those women about this particular thing?
um, probably one. We had like a real deep conversation about it. But she was honestly she was venting to me and just admitted it, you
Mhm.
know, and I respect her for that, you know. But yeah, I that's one thing I noticed whenever I was kind of overcoming one of those that lust is a very powerful
Mhm.
energy that cause you not to think properly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's really what sin is. Sin ain't bad. Sins are like very strong distractions that keep you from that causes you to go against yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lust can cause you to go against yourself or be available to go against yourself and be manipulated. You know what I'm saying? But
I agree, yeah.
I don't like to be played with. I don't like to be manipulated. So
Mhm.
I do the work on myself. But yeah, that was one of the things I noticed about well, you know what I'm saying, once I overcame that particular flaw.
Right. I feel like a lot of people use the lust and the sex as that tool. Um, and it happens even when you're in relationships. Like I've been in situations where if we're having an issue, I don't want to go to bed with you. Like I don't want you to touch me. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I want to talk, I want to resolve it. Or I want time for us to be able to, be apart, figure it out, process and then come back together and then resolve the issue. But a lot of times what I've noticed is people will use sex as a tool
mm-hmm.
to get on the other side of an issue that never got fixed in the first place.
Put a band-aid on it.
Put a Band-Aid on it. I'm like, that doesn't work for me because I know that the problem is still there.
Mm,
The problem still exists and we didn't actually fix
exactly.
anything. So you're definitely right with that. It's just interesting to see a male's perspective about how women use manipulation. I think we talk a lot about how men manipulate, but we don't really talk a lot about how women do it.
It's so sneaky and seductive. You know?
It's always seductive.
But like what it is, men as men, we so dumb and reckless. Y'all got a lot of places to hide. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just y'all but like that's only because that's our fault. It's
That's your
everybody's
fault
fault. It's everybody's fault, but it's our fault.
because you allow yourselves to be distracted. Is that what you're saying?
Hmm.
I think it's probably like you said, mutual though. Like, and
Hmm.
a lot of people aren't aware that they are manipulative in that way. They are
Hmm.
just not aware that they wield their energy and their power in that way to
Hmm.
gain control over someone else and to get what they want. A lot of people don't even realize that they're selfish in that way either.
Hmm. Yeah, you got some people who will offer like they'll like allow you to like have your way with them. And you know what I'm saying? You just accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't necessarily do the work to I guess manipulate them, but you know, you got some people who will just offer themselves up just
Yeah.
because somehow you feel there's some type of void for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you can easily take advantage of that without even realizing it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. So, do you feel men do a good job of discussing their emotions with other men? We hear a lot about men saying that there are no safe spaces for them to be vulnerable.
It depends on the maturity of the the two males, because I have friends that we've talked about some emotional type things, or
Right.
but it just depends on the maturity,
Yeah.
but it does happen.
I don't doubt it
Yeah.
happens. I do think that we don't talk enough about it.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of times when we think about, safe spaces for men, usually women are in the equation. But I'm like, no, I know men can go to their friends and talk about some things, but they also don't highlight that either. They
Yeah.
don't highlight those good spots. And also like it's a real conversation to be had that some men don't surround themselves with people that they can actually be vulnerable with either.
Yeah, a lot of time, because as men, we're natural conquerors, so we want to solve our problems ourselves. So
Mhm.
usually that conversation of feelings are not going to happen until, like, as a man, you get really, really disturbed and you get really shaken up, and
Right.
you just need a second opinion. You know what I'm
So it
saying?
has to be an intense trauma for you to be able to go to
Most of the
somebody?
most of the time, well, not me. I pour my heart out on the regular, but you know
Okay.
what I'm saying. I don't mind. You know what I'm saying. I'm to the point now. You know what I'm saying. Like, I cry and all now. That's one point I couldn't cry, but like, from just my perspective, uh, most men ain't really gonna open up until, like, they really, really need to or
Right.
have to. You know what I'm saying?
Or perceive they need to. I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes that need is a lot sooner than they realize,
Hmm.
but they just push themselves to be so self-sufficient emotionally
Hmm.
that they don't allow other people to actually show up for them.
Yeah, we be trying to be perfect.
Yeah, of course. Because
You know what
masculinity and the ideal of what that means sometimes gets twisted around and
I'm saying?
misinterpreted. And, you know, it's it's
Uh,
it's very hard for us to create spaces where we can be our authentic selves, both men and women. But hopefully we'll get better as you get more self-aware. You should get better at creating those spaces yourself.
hmm.
So, who was your first crush?
Um, I always, like, loved, like, a lot of women, like, all the time, but I would have to say, I have a cousin, my cousin Ralia. She had like 3, 4 friends that she used to hang with in high school. I loved every single one of them. If I can remember, I think it was Christian, uh, Akita.
They remember the names.
Nah, I really liked them. I used to go and try to make. I was young too.
I'm about to say,
They
what
was
was the
older than
age
me.
difference?
I think they was probably, I want to say, like 3 or 4 years older than me. I can't remember.
Okay.
But
So
yeah.
it might be possible now.
Oh, no, I'm straight. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I ain't
Gotcha.
bothering them. But yeah, though, all our Leah friends, I had a crush on them.
How did you feel? Like, I guess because that'll be the first time like we actually become aware, in our adolescent of emotions in that way, attraction in that way. What was your feelings whenever you go around these women or girls?
I don't know. I just always wanted to. I try to be silly and make them laugh. I wanted to see them smile. You know what I'm saying? I'm that type of. Like, if I
They don't
made
want to joke.
if I made one of them smile, I was satisfied for the day. If I made them laugh or smile, that's, what I'm saying, I was happy.
See, you the dangerous one, because I just said on another podcast, they was asking how to slide in the DM. Shout out to the Relationship Status podcast. And I was like, if you're gonna slide in a woman's DMs, start with a joke. Like get her to laugh and then start a good conversation. Cause from there, like you in there, like you get her to laugh, you're pretty much in there. You just gotta keep the conversation going.
Yeah. That's
Dangerous types.
crazy. Nah, I
So
ain't,
how
ain't
did
out here bothering nobody.
you look minding your business? You ain't in the
Yeah.
streets.
Nah, I ain't
That's what
playing
the
around
kids
out
say.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
what I said.
streets.
I said I'm the car on the side of the road with the little pink or orange ticket on the back of the windshield. That's me.
You that's hilarious. That's comedy. That is
Yeah.
wild. You
I am
crazy for
I
that.
am not playing with
You
y'all
talking
out
about
here in these
with
streets. The
the
towing sign.
police? The police done wrote a ticket.
You
That's
better get
crazy.
towed.
That is crazy.
Take me out of this game. I'm done. um, how do you hope a project like this is received by listeners?
Um, like any of my projects outside of the music just being sounding good and feeling good. I hope, the the messages and the lessons that I put in the music can help someone, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like like I always, one of the best feelings in the world is when somebody tell me, hey, this song right here really touched my heart, or this song helped me get through this, or I
Right.
listened to this song and it made me cry, or bro, this song, you know what I'm saying? That's I live for moments like that. So, you know, just if as long as it touches someone when they listen to it,
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
Hey, that's a good I don't know, expectation to have or a good hope to have for your listeners because music you should want to feel something when you listen to
Hmm.
it. And it should make you reflect a little bit. Like good music makes you reflect on something.
Feel some type of way.
Right. So kind of walk me through the feelings you experienced when you was making this project.
Um, uh, like the honestly, this project kind of I didn't really, how can I explain it? I didn't really plan this project all of it. It kind of unfolded on its own.
Mhm.
I was I was just a vessel, honestly.
Right.
But like these songs was literally just happening before my, like I didn't have a title until I was trying to do the cover art. I was about to name it something completely different. I can't even remember what I was about to name it. And
But that's how you know you're following the creative energy and you're leaning into it because it'll become whatever it wants to be.
exactly, like even whenever I was writing cycles, it was literally like coming to me. I was lost in the water,
No.
no order. I was trying to give my all,
I had
but
talked
all
to
I
you
had was
last
a quarter.
time.
Oh shit. I fell in love with the fire. I get a thrill for the fit. Like it was, I promise, it was just falling. It was just coming to me, and you just have to let it flow. Like once you get into that state, you got to let it happen.
I was driving. Well, of course, I was driving when I first put the project on. And I had already talked to you about how I love like how the beat or the melody would change in the middle of a song. And
Hmm.
so when it changed after the initial chorus, I was like, God dang it, he did it again. Like it was just so good because you starting off so, melodic and mellow. And that was good enough for me. And then you got to the next part and the chorus on that one, I'm just like in there jamming, like, yeah.
You talking about is that Love Limits? I think that's where it switched up, or which one it was?
No, the one you were just what was the one you were just singing?
Oh, you talking about when the verse
Yeah.
came in because the drums dropped. Okay, I know you talking
Mhm.
about. I know you talking about.
I was like, "Man." And you do that on all at least 3 of the songs on the project with the
Yeah,
melody changes in the middle?
where it switch
Um
up.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. So I always love when you do it. It's seamless. Please go and check out Feelings EP, y'all. Like, it's a whole vibe, and you can listen to it while you going on, like a 30-minute drive and be vibing.
The project is like 12 minutes long.
I felt like it was shorter, but I was like, I can't remember. Like it felt like I got done listening to it. I was going to pick up some food. And by the time I made it back to where I was going, I think Feelings was already on. And I was like, dang, this is a short project.
Yeah.
But Feelings is one that I had to rewind because you said a line in Feelings. I was like, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and get into that. So you in the song Feelings, you say trauma and tragedy caused trauma and tragedy caused the audacity, and I knew you wasn't shit when you attracted me.
Hmm.
And when I heard that, I was like, let me rewind this back real quick because
That was the line for
I
you.
don't think I call all of it. You're basically saying what you said earlier is like I'm attracting people who are a mirror. And
Hmm.
so the fact that you are even here in my condition lets me know like
Mhm.
something's already an issue.
Mhm. Who are you?
Who are you? And then the first part of it, the trauma and the tragedy calls the audacity.
Mhm.
I interpret that one way, but I'll let you say, like, what was your intention when you said that?
I just wanted to point out that we all have been hurt. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? And you know the people or the circumstances that hurt us were they've been hurt too. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So it's just a passing down of pain, like we're just passing it around like hot potato.
And
You know?
swapping it out.
Yeah, you know. And I was just pointing that out. I was just pointing that out. You know.
I think a lot of people struggle with that. One of the most freeing things that you can realize, I think, in dating is that everybody is coming with their own trauma and their own
Mhm.
baggage. When you approach a situation thinking that you are the most hurt and that you can't possibly trust again or love again or
Mhm.
give in because you've been so hurt in the past. And it's just like, well, this person probably got their own stuff they have been through as well. But
Probably
somebody,
went through worse than you.
honestly, but a lot of people come with that mindset that I've been through worse than you, but you're not even really taking the time to talk to that person that's in that pursuit with you. You're not even taking the time to learn them, to know what their past is. And once we realize that all of us been through it, but what we're going to do right
Mhm.
now here in the moment, like
Mhm.
if you can get past your own stuff and
Mhm.
focus like you said in that present moment, it'll change so much. I
Yeah.
believe that at least. It'll change a lot.
Yeah. That's how you get high off life. You got to be present.
Yeah.
Got to. Shit
But what
beautiful.
caused you to write that line is what I want to ask.
Uh, From just me being aware of my situations and being aware of the situations that of the people that I dealt with.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And I know that a lot of the things, a lot of the problems that they've had and I've had is due to conditioning.
What
You know
kind
what
of
I'm saying?
conditioning you mean?
You know how I feel like we've been conditioned to be selfish. I feel like we've been conditioned to be greedy,
Mm.
conditioned to be unconsiderate. You know, we've been conditioned to be um we've been conditioned to play the victim.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? We've been conditioned to, impose our will on things. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, you are speaking right now. Like,
So
honestly, yeah.
it's a lot of conditions
Yes.
that need to be unconditioned. You know what I'm saying?
That condition to play the victim is, I think, what holds a lot of people from healing properly. And then
Hmm.
they take all that they feel they've been wronged. They take all
Hmm.
that into the next connection they have, and then
Hmm.
it doesn't work out because they're carrying all that baggage, and then they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and again. I'm like, accountability is your friend, I promise you.
They just want to be right. They don't want to. People don't want to do right. They want to be right.
But
Just do right.
what reward do you get for being right? You
Exactly.
actually get a bigger reward for being wrong, if we're
Exactly.
going to be honest, because
Exactly.
that means you are learning more and you can improve more because you can adjust.
Exactly.
When I'm right, what am I, and if I'm right in a situation where it's like we're breaking up or we have a disconnect or something like that, what am I winning? Nothing.
Nothing.
Just my ego being stroked.
Exactly.
That's it.
And then your ego be feeling good, and you wonder why nobody don't want to be around
Mhm. Mhm.
you. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite song so far from this project?
Uh, that's a tough question. I would say if I had this, it's between. Oh man, it's probably it's probably feeling. I go between feelings and cycles. Them the two for me, because those the way those words came to me for those two songs in particular, them shits like literally just was flowing out of me, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So and just the vibe of those two records as well. But I go between cycles, and I probably say cycles because cycles sound like R&B song. You
Yeah.
know, cycles is
That's my
like very
favorite.
very R&B.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Go from the big stack to the one vocal. You know what I'm saying?
The whole project, honestly, like you said, it's really short. So it's hard to have a favorite because you just like it, the way that you did it and the fact that you followed that creative energy and didn't try to impose on it,
Mhm.
it made it just, like I said, seamless. And so the whole thing kind of ties in together. So it's hard to have a favorite for me. Like mine would be Cycles Feelings and the other one after Cycles. What's that? I'm
Love
drawing.
limits.
Love Limits.
Uh,
Love Limits. Um, but honestly, it's all of it too. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you can't. You open strong and you end strong, and it's just like, okay, well, that you did that.
yeah. I wanted to. I wanted. My aim was to make it feel like an album within a short time span. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like how much can I put in this small time frame? That was my test in, you know what I'm saying, the project.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to put as much as I could within a small time frame.
How do you feel about the length of like albums nowadays? I know that's been a discussion sometimes, like with people like, I know Drake just dropped album. It was like 20 something songs. So did Kanye.
Mhm.
Chris Brown has been known to do it. How do you feel like it's a place for those lengthy types of albums, or do you think it's better when it's concise?
My thing is, if you're gonna do the long album, like, it got to. I ain't want no filler in there. Like a lot of
Yeah.
times when we get these long albums, it be a lot of filler. Like I need every song to hit.
And give it
Yep.
direction.
Direction too. Yeah, it be all over the place. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like if you're gonna really, do 30 songs, I need because an album can usually create a whole world, right?
Mhm.
You give me 30 songs, I need a whole new reality in that 30 songs.
Like
I
Usher
want to go
Confessions?
exactly.
Mhm.
Eggs perfect. That's the perfect example. You know what I'm saying? You can, and that's like a double. That was like a double album, or whatever. It's a bunch of songs.
Yeah,
But like
I know it's more
he
than
he don't miss on that mother. You know what I'm saying?
at all. None of them
He
songs.
don't miss. He did not miss. If you gonna yeah, if you gonna give me 30, give me 30.
Mhm.
Don't give me half a 30 because I'm gonna be mad and I don't want to listen to none of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I understand the play, you know what I'm saying, as far as like playlist and things of that nature and trying to run up streams and all that. But like,
Do we understand though?
I don't know. It's bullshit,
Yeah.
honestly. What like I'm for sincerity than numbers any day. Like
Yeah.
fuck the numbers. Fuck the money. Fuck the I know we all want to be rich and wealthy and
But if you
uh,
already rich, what are you doing? Like, if anything, you have
exactly.
the freedom to create freely.
Is somebody
Like,
cracking the whip on you? Is you not really demanding something? Is you really pulling the strings that you got to do all this extra shit?
right. And
Oh,
then what are
okay.
your fans getting out of it?
Yeah,
Now, I'm saying that as someone who I haven't listened to them all in entirety yet, and I don't plan to listen to some of them.
yeah.
However, it is an interesting conversation I've seen people have, and it got me to asking that question. I'm like, I know old school R&B used to be at least, you know, 12, 15 songs, those
Mhm.
albums. But nowadays, I'm like 20 something.
Yeah, 20,
Like that's
30. Like I said, I have no problem with it, but like if you're gonna do it, like make that shit jam. Like,
like you said, give me a world, give me a theme. Your title should be tying into like you should be taking me on a
yeah.
journey. I need to click that thing and if I skip a song, that means I done missed something important. Like I need it to be intentional. And I think a lot of times people it's okay to go with the vibe of music, but
Hmm.
also like you should know your intention behind it as well. If you want to just make a club banger, cool. But if
If
you're
you
going to
wanna
make a project
if
though,
you wanna make a playlist, just make a playlist.
yeah, that's what that is.
That's really what it sounds like. Niggas is just making a playlist. You know what I'm saying?
Something I can get dressed up to before I go out with my girls.
Yeah, like just make that. You ain't got to do it, those long form albums if you're not gonna really, you know what I'm saying?
Put your heart into it.
Not saying that you know, those albums was bad. Those albums was pretty good, but they wasn't I felt like with 30 songs it should have been more, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
should have
Like
been more structured.
more quality, especially with the caliber of artists that that do these type of, because these actually
Mhm.
do be good artists that do these long form albums, but y'all not I don't feel like you really put your all into it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because you know, and they done drop most of them done drop like pretty long extended albums that were solid.
Mhm.
So, you know, if you don't come with the 30 piece, give me a fucking 30 piece for real. Don't give me no half ass 30. Don't give me 20 in a possible, or don't give me
Not
15. You
possible.
know what I'm saying? Don't give me 15 in a possible. You know what I mean?
So what is Eezy Olah listening to right now?
I'm listening to it's this he's like a jazz pianist, but it's kind of like lo-fi. His name is Kiefer.
Mm,
I love, you know what I'm saying? I love his music, Kiefer. I've been listening to I think it's pronounced Jameson. It's not spelled out completely Jameson, it's like abbreviated. Jameson,
right.
it's just like it's a white guy. He's like real soulful. I just came across his music. Amazing.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I've been listening to Robert Glasper's music
Oh
a
man,
lot.
amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, on my walks, I'm just like, and it just kind of helps melt away everything else.
facts. Robert Glasper is different. He's one of my inspirations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way I kind of do the way I do my chords is kind of how he play
You know
his.
what? That
I don't
made that
I don't
sound.
play I don't play exactly how, because you know he nice with it. He's actually, you know what I'm saying, he done mastered that shit, but you know, I kind of model my chords after him though.
I can see the influence. I can see it. But yeah. Um any other ones like outside of those two?
Um I'll be all over the place. A lot of Brent Fayez.
Mm.
Who else? I listen to Sir, um,
Okay.
a knowledge producer. Um, I really been. It's this guy. I think he's like I don't know if he's a saxophone player or a bass player. His name is Sam Wikes. I've really been listening to like a lot of like instrumental type music.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
go
saying?
through my phase where I do that too. I'm just like, I don't even want to hear no words. Like
Yeah, like everybody shut up. I just want to hear
that's
music.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Um, so what was your most difficult song to create on this project?
Difficult. Probably not the actual song Love Limits, but the beat for Love Limits. It was like so much that could have been done with it
Mhm.
because of how I don't know, the way the beat is structured. It's like open, but it's not open. It's a lot going on, but it's still open, and it's like so many melodies and things
Yeah.
you get off on it. So it kind of took me a little while to figure out how I wanted to approach it, but once I figured it out, it just kind of flowed.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, what about what about emotionally? Did you have any difficulty expressing yourself when it came to putting those things down on record?
Oh no, usually by the time I make a song about you know what I'm saying, something, I done got over it emotionally. Like I done conquered it, you know. Yeah, my song, honestly, a song is kind of like me. It's like a trophy, or like that's me hanging the head on the wall. You know how they had the book on the wall, the
Yeah.
hunters or the bear. No, yeah, me making a song about it is me overcoming it. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times I'm releasing in the moment, so I'll be like or typing. So that's kind of why I asked. I was like, I wonder if, he had any difficulty, remembering his own situations and, creating these songs. But that's perfectly fine. Like you've already processed and you know what you want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I take time and sit in it, and
Hmm.
really digest it and break it apart and pick it. You know,
Sometimes
so
I'd be like, girl, you can't sit in this too long. You got to get up. You gotta-
yeah, I got a Virgo moon. I want to analyze every part of it. You know.
Hey, you talking to an Aquarius? You forgot? Oh, I get the analytical part, but I am a Cancer moon, so emotion is just
We
all over the place sometimes. All right. How does music contribute to the way you feel?
um honestly, music has helped me navigate the way I feel. You
Mhm.
know, it has helped me understand how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so uh, yeah, like I think I might have said it earlier, but like music is the reason why I was able to create a project like Feelings. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I was able to really learn myself. Through the process of working on my craft. So I was able to learn myself, and then through expressing myself through the craft, I was able to see myself.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how music has helped me with my feelings.
Yeah, it's kinda like a roadmap sometimes, especially, like, you have a moment like I had with yours, where you have to pause, and you're like, "Wait a minute, what did he say?" And you go back, and it's kinda like you're kind of working through your own stuff in that moment because the music is helping you kind of explore your own emotions or explore your own experiences and start to question some things.
You know what? I want to go back to a question. Feelings was probably the hardest song to write
Okay, why was that?
because as I was uh as I was asking those questions, because I was asking those questions in the verse with the intentions of like this is someone new. I'm talking to a new
Mm,
partner,
mhm.
and as I'm writing these questions, I begin to ask myself those questions,
Yeah,
and that's when it hit me. I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
This is heavy. All of this is heavy. You know what I'm
You
saying?
you kind of came to your own realizations in those moments?
Yeah. Like, what I'm saying? I'm asking somebody else. Let me ask do I, what I'm saying? Can I love myself like this? Can
When
I
that conviction
like
hits
this?
you and
You know
you
what I'm
have
saying?
to I've done that
Yeah.
so many times when I'm, like, writing or something where it's
Yeah,
like,
you check yourself.
you check yourself, and I'm like, I'm so thankful for that part of me that does that. I don't know where that comes from. I know a
Mhm.
lot of people don't have that part just
That be
yet.
that be your grandmas and your DNA. What about what? But you did this and you did what
Right.
you did that. You that be
That's
no
exactly how the little
ancestors.
voice sound like, "But what about you, girl?"
Uh, that-
It
yeah, we
happened it happened I think I was writing about boundaries, and that's how mine came about, and I was like, this person didn't respect boundaries. Oh no, it was balance. I was like, this person didn't have balance or whatever. And something so quiet just came across my mind. It was just like, well, if you were balanced, then that person being unbalanced wouldn't have mattered.
mm.
And I was just like, well, dang. Like when
Oh,
it hits you and you come to your own realization,
yeah,
it's just
smack
like,
your side.
well, I was I literally had to put my pen down. Like I was done.
You had to take a breather.
I had to take a little breather
Yeah.
because once it's like sometimes it's a domino effect. Once you get to that one little piece of realization, it
Mm,
kind of, I don't know, it clears the path for everything else to
yeah.
make sense. And so that's what happened. And I was just like, oh snap, I'm
Mm.
problematic, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever you reach a degree of understanding,
hmm
a lot of shit got to get rewired and you know what I'm saying? There's some alchemy, some alchemical shit going on in your body. Like your DNA change whenever you come to a new realization.
Yeah,
Because your life ain't gonna be the same after that understanding. You know what
it
I'm saying?
can't be.
You don't reach the whole nother limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that analogy because it is kind of like it's like an energy
It's
level
a
up
new
or
world.
something. Yeah, it's like
It's a whole new world.
your eyes are open and you
Hmm.
can't go back. It's like you can't
Can't
unknow what
unsee.
you know.
It's gonna eat you up.
You can't go back, Neo. You done took the what is the pill he took? The blue one.
The blue pill, yeah.
All right. So we're coming to a close, but before we do, I want to ask about the collaboration on this project. It
Okay.
was a few different features up there. Let's talk about them and how they contributed to the songs like Love Limits. I think you had Cycles maybe
Hmm.
that you had.
Well, on the first track, I had my boy Treja Vu from the Outer Ego band. He plays with this band called Outer Ego.
Mhm.
I met them. Was that 20? Was it 2020? December 2020. I was in the field. I ain't I ain't afraid of the big bad wolf. But I was at it was a compilation album for Amethyst 2. It's a joint project for like producers and artists from South Carolina.
Mhm.
And they popped up and they was in this room just jamming out, and I just went in. They started freestyling and kicking it and chopping it up with them boys, and
Very Leo energy.
yeah, we they was having a good time. I want to have a good time too. and chopping it up with them boys, and I ended up I think I went to one of their shows probably like a week after that, and probably a week or two after that, he actually pulled up on me, and we was like just making beats and stuff together. But we just built the organic, connection.
Right.
And in one of the sessions that we had, we was working on music. I was like, hey Trey, I got this track. I want you to lay a solo on. He did it with no problem. And, you got Cycle, that crazy guitar solo at the end of
Mm.
Cycles, and then
Yeah.
Love Limits was actually hilarious, right? Because I was pulling up on my homie Caspian Victoria. I call her Cass,
Mhm.
but her name on on there is Caspian Victoria. But I was whenever I go to Atlanta, I stay with her. I crash at her crib. She got a studio and all that, so it's just perfect for me.
Right.
And I was playing that record for her, and it was just I was just playing it for her just to let her hear the things I've been working on. And my verse go off, then the hook go off, and then it was open verse. This nigga just pull out a notepad and just start.
She like this mine. Don't even worry about it.
I was like, I say, you fucking with it? She's like, yeah, I'm about to put my verse on. I said, oh, okay, well, go ahead. I ain't even argue
She
with
said the
her.
studio was open. It was all good.
Yeah, she said, yeah, I'm about to. This is fire. I'm about to write to this. So yeah, that's how that song went down with
That's
Cat.
so dope.
Yeah, that's my she family. Like I love her from the bottom of my heart. That's my dog. But and then the next track was On Me, right? On Me happened. It's a producer, legendary producer, Midi Mart, out of Columbia, South Carolina. He sent me in Airborne. It's the sample that he chopped, and he sent it to us in like I guess like a group like email. It was already in the group chat or whatnot because we all just cool or whatnot. But anyway,
Right.
uh, he sent it to us in Airborne because that it's that crazy sample on me.
On me. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And Airborne put some drums on it, which is what he do best, them damn drums. And like he had the motherfucking drums dancing and singing on that mother. And when they sent it to me, I was like, man, this shit just missing the damn. I just do an 808 on boom. I just
That's
do an
it.
808 on him. And like I mixed everything down. That's the work that I did. I actually made sure the drums is hitting and
Right.
threw some flangers and phasers on the sample and my 808, what I'm saying? I made sure my 808 was rattling. And then I wrote the song and I had one female artist in mind for the feature, but for whatever reason I couldn't get that set up. So I ended up asking a good friend of mine, Asia Blue,
Mhm.
to do a verse on it, and she came in and knocked it
It's
out
the
the damn park.
bomb.
Yeah, she can sing her life away.
Mhm.
And she came and did that, and that was money. And I think Airborne added those effects like on feelings, like those sirens and the bombs, and
Yeah.
Airborne did that. So I made the beat, but Airborne threw the special effects. But them shits does count. Like they did add a different
It did
element to it.
count.
Yeah, them
It
shits
does.
counted.
It's like layering, like your
Mhm.
sounds. But sometimes if you layer too much, it can be like a cacophony of sounds, and it's not
Exactly.
necessarily blended well. It's too
Hmm.
distracting. But you don't have that because, like you said, you were intentional with those sounds and you knew how to mix them well.
Hmm.
So I love that. Okay. So you had three different collaborations on this particular project.
Um, Trey was on the first song, Cass on the second, and then
You have four.
yeah, then
Asia.
MIDI, Airborne, and Asian
Mhm.
five. I count my producers as collabs.
Oh, got you, got you.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, what is next for Eezy Olah? What is next up on the docket for you?
Um, I was about to pump out like two more projects, but like I was gonna try to like get two out before the end of the year, but I decided that I'm not gonna because I felt like I was about to rush them. But I may one we might get another one from me before the end of it. We might, depending on things.
Do
how
you know
things
if it's
play
gonna
out.
be like a R&B or a mixture or like what?
If it's solo, it's gonna be like a soulful project if it's solo,
Okay.
because that's what I'm working on solo wise. It's some soulful shit.
I
But
feel like all your music is pretty soulful. Even
no,
your rap.
this is gonna be like soulful,
I
like,
got you.
you know what I'm saying? Like we going to church type. So it's like,
Oh, okay.
but nah. And if I don't do that, it'll be the project with it'll probably be a Black Chef project. And but I'm really trying to I'm trying to re I had a website for like my composer type things I was doing.
Hmm.
I'm about to restructure it and make it more tailor made to me as a artist. And I'm about to also start like these two content series.
Okay.
Um
What kind of
but
content?
I'm gonna be like doing breakdowns of like some of my favorite chapters and principles from books that I've read.
Hmm.
And I also want to break down like different verses and hooks from songs that I've
Okay.
like, old and new, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm still in the process of getting all that organized and put together. And
Okay.
I'm be curating more events too as well. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you did
saying? So
say that you were last time I talked to you, you said you were still looking into doing events.
yeah, I done did a few of them now.
Hmm.
I'm out here. I'm out here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently what was up for next for you is this modeling stuff that you've been having going on
Oh
Instagram.
man. Man, that that happened. I was helping out a friend, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Cause her mom makes clothes, and she do events as well, and she wanted to make like content for to promote her event.
Right.
And part of that content was me, using my chocolate skin and my height and my dreads and my beard and getting greased.
You better describe yourself. Okay, good. Let's. You know
big
it.
big Leo energy. I had a
Big,
roar one time.
very big Leo energy. I mean, you describe chocolate skin, the height. Okay, sir. Ladies, I'm gonna let him tell you what his Instagram is, and you can go see these pictures for yourself in the chocolate skin and the
uh,
height.
yeah, gotta hurry up before I take them down.
You better not take those pictures down. That no, they came out really well, and it still looks like your kind of aesthetic. That's what was
hmm
really dope about it. A lot of artists don't post themselves as much on social media in that way. And I thought it was
hmm
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it was one of those bags I was gonna get into eventually. I like the like how can I explain it? People, especially like the people who are close to me, they're like,
Hmm.
"Easy, why you don't do this? Why you don't do that?" I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to use it to. I'm gonna roll it out.
Not a
I,
rollout.
I'm aware of all that. You know what I'm saying, that I'm capable of or that I could be doing. But it's a method to the madness. You know what I'm saying? It's a method to the madness. I'm gonna get to all that.
I feel you. Yeah. Go ahead and plug all your social and where to find your music, where to find your social media for the builders.
Well, I got everything under no matter what app you go to, you know what I'm saying, it's under my name. That's EEZY space OLAH if on the music platforms, but on the social media it's EEZYOLAH all together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hard to find. I'm definitely gonna be being I'm already pretty active, but it's gonna be more constructive, you know what I'm saying, and more intentional
Hmm.
instead of just, just throwing it at y'all and y'all eat it up how y'all eat it. I'm gonna start, get on a little schedule and feed y'all properly. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a lot of things that people need from me that know me personally. And
Keep it keep.
I'm gonna start doing it for the world, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it for the world.
That's dope. I think that's a big part of, being a creative. And we talked about that before is the whole social media and,
Yeah,
using it as a tool. Sometimes it does feel like
it's a
another
job.
job. It is. I was just talking to another creator, shout out to Micro Speak. And we were talking about, the different things we can do on social media, engagement and everything else. And I was just
Mhm.
like, Lord, this is a whole nother job, you know?
You just got to find your rhythm.
Yeah. Yeah, of course,
Find
of
your rhythm.
course. Find your rhythm, find your aesthetic, find your audience, and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I always give the guests, well, I'm trying to now give the guests a chance to ask any questions of me that you might have. If you don't have any, that's okay. But now's your opportunity.
Okay.
Oh Lord, why you
What
had to?
kind? What type of cycles have you dealt with or overcame?
So, in the sense that you were talking about, as far as patterns, um, I feel like I have a tendency to attract or be attracted to those who are brilliant, like intelligent men,
Mhm,
but they are emotionally underdeveloped. Um,
mhm,
sometimes they have very selfish tendencies and they lack boundaries. And
mm,
so this is like usually the MO I go for. And then I had to ask myself, like, okay, what does that mean for me? And it meant that I didn't have very good boundaries when I'm in connection with someone else. And that I have some things about me that tries to get validated in my connections with men. So yeah,
that's
that's
real.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay. What, uh, what love limits have you ran into the
Love
most?
limits in what sense?
Um, anything that hindered you from loving to your, to the best of your ability?
Hmm. I don't know. I always feel like,
Mhm,
despite my issues, it's never hindered me from giving my all when it comes to love.
mm,
Or loving a person through, I don't know how to answer that. Like,
nah, you did what you gonna say.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm still good at like so I had a conversation with someone and we were discussing how I was like, looking back at the stuff that I asked for in my connections with people, whether they were able to give those things to me or not. Sometimes I wasn't in the healthiest place, but the things that I asked for and the things that I gave weren't wrong. So I don't think I had any limits on my love. I had limits on my presence. So I can love you and still decide that the connection isn't something that I'm gonna work towards
Mhm,
and, you know, let that be what it is.
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Um, what's your definition of love?
My definition of love. Dang, that's a wild one. People
Mm,
don't ask this question enough.
yeah, I came to go to war today.
I
You
think
thought she was gonna interrogate
yeah, I
me?
mean
I'll
this
interrogate.
I wasn't
It's
even
like,
interrogating you. You
nah, I just
doing me
playing.
worse.
I just playing. I just playing.
I would say love would be like a deep appreciation
Mm,
for for yourself and for other people.
I like
Um,
that answer.
and I think I use appreciation because that's what love is. I feel like when you appreciate someone,
Mhm,
you give of yourself, you give of your energy. And then when you love yourself, you're appreciating yourself. That doesn't mean that you think everything is perfect about yourself. You might have some things you want to change. You
mhm.
still appreciate who you are. You still celebrate who you are. So for me, that'd be my definition of it. I'm gonna ask you that question. I know I ain't supposed to be asking questions, but what would be your definition? Because I'm curious now. Now I'm
My
curious.
definition of love is
Mm-hmm.
the acceptance of all truths.
Mm. That's a good one too.
You know what I'm saying? The acceptance of all truth, not not running from it, not hiding it, not pushing,
Mm-hmm.
but accepting it and dealing with it accordingly.
I was talking online today and I asked the question that, is the love we have for ourselves unconditional? Because we talk a lot about love being conditional when we have it with other people,
Mhm,
and we expect them to love us unconditionally, right? Or at least some
mhm,
people do. But a lot of us love ourselves under conditions. We love
mhm,
ourselves for what we have, the accolades we assume.
mhm.
We love ourselves because of the job we have. We feel proud of that.
You love your
But
costume.
you love all that other stuff that has nothing to really do about who you are. So if you were stripped down to nothing, could you still see value in yourself because you still love yourself?
What's the call? Do you love the cause?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, do you love that what's deeply rooted inside you? Do you love that?
Like, I feel like I've been stripped down so much. I ain't had no choice but to ask myself that question. I'm like, I know I love me. Like, I done been to the
Exactly.
bottom and back.
Yes, some of us have been forced to love ourselves, or we wouldn't be here right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, great question, great answers, great everything.
Well, builders, hopefully you'll be asking yourself some of these questions that we discussed here on this episode. This special creating space, make sure you check out the EP Feelings. That's Eezy Olah. You can find that on Apple Music, Spotify, pretty much all your streaming platforms. And be sure to follow his Instagram. We'll make sure we plug that into our show notes. But it's your host, Kay Antoinette, and you can follow me on Instagram at K Antoinette underscore the blogger. You can also follow the Let's Build Futures page at let's underscore build underscore futures or visit let'sbuildfutures.com for blog posts and podcast episodes and more. If you have any questions, you get me up at allthingslbf at gmail.com. If you have any topic ideas you want to discuss here on the show, and be sure to catch the visuals now on YouTube. So until next time, thank you guys, and we're out.